Hello dear students, welcome to Pen and Paper Chemistry. We are going to continue with the answers to the Smiley challenge on IUPAC nomenclature of organic compounds, and shall be taking up from question 10 onwards. For those who've not seen the previous video, this is video number 2 in the series, please, based on IUPAC nomenclature practice questions. So let's get started. Hope you've got your worksheets ready with you. So we have already done till question number 9, right? Question number 10. So here we've got the chain. So let's highlight the chain first and select the longest chain containing the functional group. So here I have highlighted the chain. How are you going to number it? Left to right, right to left. Remember the FDTS rule, or simply put FMS. First preference goes to the functional group, followed by the multiple bond, and lastly is the substituent, right? The alkyl groups, the halo groups. So according to this, I will start numbering from the yes, absolutely right. The right hand side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Many a times the students ignore this carbon. Please don't forget this carbon atom. Now rest is your prefix, word root and of course the suffix. Is there any prefix here? We don't have any side groups. So my word root, since there are 6 carbon atoms, my word root becomes hex. It's got a multiple bond, so we are going to name it as 4-ine. And then at the third carbon atom, it has a ketonic group, so this becomes 3-one. Because this starts with the vowel, the E goes away. So this compound would be named as hex 4-ine 3-one. Got it right? Very good. Bring a smile to your face. That's the first smiley of the day. Let's go on to the next one. Also, let me remind you, this FMS in my previous, in my videos on IUPAC nomenclature, I had written it as FDTS. So supposing there is a conflict between double bond and triple bond, if there is a possibility of giving the same number to both of them, then the double bond gets preference, which I have shortened it as FMS, functional group, multiple bond and the substituent. Now in order to name the next compound, you see it looks very difficult to name this kind of a substituent. So what does it mean? Here we have COH, right? Now there are 3 ethyl groups. You see over here CH2, CH3 is an ethyl group. So I will write it as CH2, CH3, CH2, CH3. And lastly CH2, CH3. This is 3 alkyl groups attached to the carbon which is attached to the functional group. Now I have to number this. Let's highlight the longest chain first. Did you highlight this as the longest chain? Very good. If you've highlighted that, wonderful. Did you highlight this as the longest chain? Yes, it is correct this way as well, because what you've got is in both the chains, if you notice, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon atoms, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon atoms. There's another possibility. You could have highlighted this chain. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Correct? All of whichever method you follow, you're going to get 5 carbon atoms. No, you are not going to number it as 1, 2, 3 because this gives you only 3 carbon atoms in the main chain. So let's get going and name it taking one of the chains as my primary chain. So how are you going to number it? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. If you start numbering from the bottom to the top, again if you notice 1, 2, 3, your OH and the side chain again comes at the third position. So irrespective of which direction you number it from, it's the same. So next thing is the prefix. So at the third position I have, now this I'm going to treat as one group. This becomes ethyl. So 3 ethyl. Now how many carbon atoms are in the main chain? 5. So pent. Look at the chain. Is it saturated or unsaturated? It's saturated. So ane. Right? Then comes the suffix, the secondary suffix. So here I have got OH group. So my secondary suffix would be all. Now where is this all present? Yes, it is at the third position. Again, because it starts with the vowel here, we will drop the E. Now join these, the name, the parts of the name, and you will have 3 ethyl pentan 3 all as the name of this compound. Very good. I like the smile on your face. Supposing you got it wrong, supposing you couldn't get it right exactly, it's okay. It's part of our learning journey. I will keep saying that. This is not the entrance exam or your board exam. This is you are testing yourself. The more you test yourself, more you will grow in confidence. So okay, if you want to test yourself, go ahead, try the next compound. Tried it? Are you going to number this set of carbons? No. Why? Because this functional group is, if you observe carefully, it is C double bond O, OC2H5. It's an ester. So the chain is being broken here by the presence of oxygen. So you do not number these two carbon atoms. So let's highlight our main chain. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The question is, supposing you have a doubt, why didn't we take it as 1, 2, 3 and 4? Why don't we take it this way? Yes, because we are, if we do that, we are excluding the functional group, which is the boss in IUPAC nomenclature. It is the functional group which defines the chemical properties of a substance, so we cannot give it a second class treatment, right? So now the next challenge is to number it. Obviously my functional group should get the lowest number. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Prefix, what are we going to attach before the name? Yes, the substituent. And that substituent is present at the second position. It's called 2-methyl. Now how about the main chain? How many carbon atoms are there? Yes, of course, it is bute. Saturated, unsaturated? Yes, it is saturated. So ane. Yes, it is not this unsaturation we are talking about. It is the double bond or triple bond between two carbon atoms, right? Butane. Now, what kind of functional group is this? Ester. Remember how we said we are going to name the esters? We call them as alkyl OH, right? So, the alkyl group which is attached to the C double bond OO group. Now, this has to be written before we start writing the name. So, here comes ethyl. Then we have 2-methyl butane and there is the O8. So let's join the parts of this name. So I have here ethyl. Yes, there is a space here now. Unlike the previous names where we have been writing them as one name, there's a small space. Then we have 2-methyl Because the next word is a vowel, we drop this E and we write it as butane O8. And because we don't specify the position, that means it is at position number 1. This is how you name esters. Did you get the third smiley for the day? Let me know. Okay, let's go on to the next structure. Again, would you like to try it yourself? Let's highlight the longest chain first. Yes, if the functional group has a carbon, we shall include it in the chain. So how many carbon atoms in your chain? 1. Would you like to number them? Where do I start numbering from? The left to the right or the right to the left? Whichever way you number, it is going to give us the same, right? So if I number it as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now many a times the students again have the doubt, why are you numbering this position number 1? Shouldn't this be position number 1 because this is an aldehyde group? Remember, we've been saying all this while, if your functional group has a carbon, we will include it as part of the chain, right? So, if I write from right to left, my double bond comes at position number 2. But if I number it from left to right, so 1, 2 and 3, right? Okay, let me show it as well. So if I number it as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You see here, now my double bond will get position number 3. So which numbering is correct? Because your aldehydes are at position number 1 and 5. They are sorted. But what about the double bond? Yes, you always go on for the lower locant, correct? So which is the correct system of numbering? The one in red or the one in black? Yes, the one in red is the correct system of numbering, right? So, how are we going to name this compound? Do we have any substituents? No. Do we have a word root? Yes. What is the word root we are going to say? Because 5 carbon atoms, so pent. Saturated, unsaturated, yes it is unsaturated. So double bond means what are we going to write? We are going to write "-ene". Are we going to represent it by carbon number 2 or 3? The lower number, so 2-ene. Then the secondary suffix. What is the functional group? Aldehyde. What is their position number? 1 and 5. So can I just leave it as al? No, because there are 2, I will have to write it as dial, right? So let's combine it and give it one single word. Pent 2-ene 1, 5 dial. Notice I have not dropped the E this time because your secondary suffix begins with, yes, the alphabet D. Got it? So the 14th one should be relatively easy for you. Again, highlight the main chain. This is it. Number it. How are you going to number? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So word root, but. Primary suffix, 2-ene. Secondary suffix, 1, 4. Dioic acid. Right? And this gives us the name of the compound, but-2-ene 1,4-dioic acid. Earlier, they used to also write it as 2-butene, but now the accepted norm is that you write the locant number in front of the prefix or the exact suffix that you are writing. So that is why all through my videos, I'm going to stick to but-2-ene as the system and not 2-butene, because this is the latest recommendation of the IUPAC system. Question number 15. Come on, highlight the main chain. So what do we have over here? Yes, of course, this is the chain which includes the maximum number of substituents, functional group, as well as the multiple bond. Number it. Are we going to number this carbon? Remember, this is an ester as the functional group. No, we are not going to. So how are we going to start numbering? 1, 2 and 3. The functional group gets preference. So at the second position I have methyl. So this becomes 2-methyl. What's the word root? Prop. 3 carbon atoms. Saturated, unsaturated. It's unsaturated. So what's the primary suffix? Yes, it's a 2-ene. Right? And what's the functional group? It's an ester. So 1-OH or just OH. Right? But if you notice, so far we have not spoken about this methyl. Here 2-methyl is, we are talking about this methyl as a substituent. This is the part of the functional group. And where does it go? Yes, at the beginning of the name, just like this ethyl over here. So let's get going. Let's name it as methyl. 2-methyl prop 2-ene 1-OH. So you can write it as, oh yes, we need to do away with the E because the next word begins with a vowel. So I can either write it as enoate or I can also write it as 2-ene 1-OH. Both will be accepted as far as this part is concerned, right? Of course, the rest of the name remains the same. How many smileys? Oh, we forgot the smiles that you are giving me, right? The thumbs up that you are giving me, the smiles that I am getting from you all. That's a big, big reward in itself. 16th. Step 1, highlight the longest chain. So there we go. This is my longest chain. Step 2, number it so as to cover the maximum number of functional groups. So I have a confusion. Do I give preference to this or this? Yes, my COOH gets bigger priority, a higher priority. So let us number this. So we'll have here 1, 2 and 3. The naming of this compound now becomes very easy. Why? Because your functional group, which is getting the second class treatment, will be written as a prefix. So it gets to be named first, although it's getting a second hand treatment. So when it is written as a prefix, you don't name it as all. What do you name it as? Hydroxy. Now, how many carbon atoms in the chain? 3. So it gives me the word root prop. Saturated, unsaturated. Saturated. So ane. What's the functional group? Yes, it's a carboxylic acid. So it's written as oic acid. What is the position of that oic acid? It's in position number 1, right? So position number 1 means I can avoid writing it as well. So how do we name this compound? It's called 2-hydroxy propane. By the way, do we keep the E or we drop it? Yes, we are going to drop it because the next word begins with a vowel. So propanoic acid. Another smile coming. Oh yes. Isn't it so satisfying to learn something new and slowly getting confident on that? Okay, did you try naming this compound? I'm telling you, unless you practice writing the names yourself, no matter how many videos, how many channels you watch, it's not going to work. You have to practice them yourself. You have to write it with your own hand. Got it? So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4. Why not? Why not this 1, 2, 3, 4? Yes, because we've got a chlorine over here. So we will try to include it, right? Why do you want to treat it as a second class citizen and, get into all that trouble? Let's cover it in the name itself. Of course, it is anyway going to be written as a prefix because the boss is already there. And otherwise also, remember the rule? Halogens are always written as prefixes, never as suffixes, even if they are alone. So let's suppose I have a compound by the name, let's say CH3Cl. If I have to give its IUPAC name, so then it will be chloro, and there are one carbon atom, so chloromethane. As simple as that. See here, chlorine was alone. Still, it never gets a chance to be priority. It never gets a chance to be written as a suffix. It is always written as a prefix. Now comes the task of numbering the carbon atoms. So obviously my OH gets preference 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? So what's the prefix for here? At the fourth position, you see over here, we've got chlorine. Oh, did you number the chlorine? Did you number the C over here? No. That's not right because it's part of the chlorine. It's not carbon. If it was carbon, then we'd give it a number. Not just because it contains a C. That C is because it's a chlorine atom. So 4 chloro. Go ahead, at the third position, at the third carbon, I have methyl. So 3 methyl. So both of them are prefixes. How many carbon atoms in the main chain? 4. So bute. Saturated, unsaturated. Unsaturated. Number 2 ene, right? If I have a choice between 2 and 3, IUPAC says go lower, keep it low. So CHC. Out of 2 and 3, 2 being the smaller of the two numbers between which there is the double bond. See, there are these two carbon atoms having the double bond. So between carbon number 2 and 3. So IUPAC says write it as the lower number. So 2 ene. And what about the secondary suffix? Yes. At the first carbon, I have the OH group. What are we going to write it as? No, not hydroxy. It's all. Right at this. So we have 1 all. Again, see here. E, because this is an O. We cancel it. Also, let's see. Are we arranging the prefixes properly? Yes. This is C and this is M. We have to arrange them alphabetically, which we have perchance done it correctly. So 4 chloro, 3 methyl, bute, 2 enol, or you can write it as 2 ene, 1 all. Both are accepted and are correct. Did you get a smiley here? Very nice. Now the next one, 18th one. You must try it. You must try it yourself. Let's see if you can remember what you have learned so far. See over here. Now how many carbon atoms are there? 1, 2, 3 and 4. It's the longest continuous chain, not the longest straight chain. We say the word that we use is the longest continuous chain of carbon atoms. So let's get to number it. So we'll have here position number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So my word root will have what here? Of course, bute. Saturated, unsaturated, it's saturated, so ane. What about the functional groups? So 1 and 4. Yes, at position number 1 and 4, I have what functional group? COH. How do you name COH? Yes, it's a carboxylic acid. So oic acid. How many of such groups are there? There are 2 of them. So how do I say that there are 2 of them? I will say it as dioic acid. But we have not given any consideration to the OH so far. So what are you going to do? Is it going to be a suffix or a prefix? Yes, absolutely. It's going to be a prefix because the boss is around. So this has to play a second class treatment. So but at the same time it gets to be written first. And how are we going to write it as? 2,3-dihydroxy. Notice the difference. When this is the primary functional group, we write it as all alcohol. But when this becomes the secondary group, we always write it as a prefix and we write it as hydroxy. Right? So let's join the 2 parts of the name and 2 comma. Yes, see? I put a hyphen. It's not supposed to be a hyphen. It's a comma. 2,3-dihydroxy. Again a name. So I will start it with a capital alphabet. Dihydroxy butane 1,4-dioic acid. Smiley, smile. There we go. So you can see the next structure popping onto your screen, 19th and 20th. By the time I record the lessons for the answers for these 2, why don't you try attempting them and why don't you try answering them? Oh, there's 21 as well popping from there. Go ahead, try them. Let me know how you did so far. And stay connected with me in video number 3 as we continue practice of IUPAC nomenclature of organic compounds. See you in video number 3.